Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm not. Guess why? Because Manchester United's start to the season is seemingly going from bad to worse, and Luke Shaw can now be added to the list of players that are injured and unavailable for Manchester United. And when you just look at left back, for example, that's Luke Shaw and Terrell Malacia that are out for Manchester United at this moment in time. We've already got countless other injuries. Mason Mount going down recently, Rasmus Højlund being unavailable, Kobbie Mainoo going down in pre-season. The problems for Manchester United are adding up, and it doesn't look like we're going to be signing anyone anytime soon either. So problems for Manchester United as we head into that game against Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford on the weekend. And then we've got Arsenal the following week as well. And we'll be without Luke Shaw for that one. We'll be getting stuck into all the latest news. Before we do that, get hitting that like button. Comment down below your thoughts on all the latest, as well as hitting that subscribe button. Join the community that we've got building here. We're trying to get 150,000 subscribers, and I can only do that with your help. So get hitting that subscribe button. But as I was saying, we've got this story from David Ornstein and The Athletic, and it is that Shaw is set to be sidelined for an extended period with a muscle injury. It goes on to say Manchester United are still assessing the extent of the 28-year-old defender's problem, with the hope being he misses weeks rather than months. Hope being there. So that's a question mark over that already. Very likely to miss weeks at the least. And you're looking at a potential month out. I know we've got international breaks in there, but this isn't ideal for Manchester United at all. It says Shaw played a key role last season as United qualified for the Champions League and won the League Cup, operating at both left back and centre back before starting his side's opening two matches of the 2023-24 campaign. Shaw's absence further depletes United's left back options, with Terrell Malacia also sidelined after missing pre-season with an injury sustained last season. The news also represents the latest defensive injuries for England. All right, forget England. We don't really care about that. Luke Shaw is injured for Manchester United. And when you look at the list of players, I'll read them out at the moment. It says we've got 7 other injuries. Kobbie Mainoo is out, probably not going to return until late October, early November at the best. Some people have said potentially at the start of the new year as well. Mason Mount's out. We're looking at 2, 3, 4 weeks on that one. And him not coming back until after the international break. So he's definitely going to miss Forest and Arsenal. Rasmus Højlund's out as well. Now, there's been talk about him potentially being involved in the game at Forest, but then we heard that it's unlikely that he'll be involved until after the international break with that lower back injury. Harry Maguire is apparently out as well. Terrell Malacia is out, as we've said before. Amad Diallo has an injury. Tom Heaton also has an injury. Obviously, Andre Onana is the main goalkeeper, but that was a reason that held up the Dean Henderson move from Old Trafford, although it looks like that may still be happening with him seemingly heading for Crystal Palace as we speak. We'll speak about transfers soon, but when you just look at some of those key players missing, Mason Mount, he's just arrived. All right, he hasn't settled down yet or started to play his best football. I thought he looked good in the first half against Spurs, as did United. But apart from that, United have been pretty abysmal so far this season, and so has Mason Mount. But those are key weeks where he could get settled in just before the international break, come back after the international break, ready to go. Now he's got a little bit of a period out. He comes back knowing he hasn't really played well for Manchester United yet. Then he gets injured. So it's a bit of an unsettled start to life at Old Trafford. That's not what you want. Obviously, we bought him for the long term. Hopefully he can turn it around. I think he will. But not an ideal start for Mason Mount. Someone you want settling in to that midfield. You get Terrell Malacia there, who you were hoping could have a good pre-season and challenge Luke Shaw for his spot. He's out to join to that Luke Shaw miss. Our fullbacks are very, very important to the way we want to play. Rasmus Højlund was brought in to lead the line. He's got that underlying back issue that we found out once he joined Manchester United, and that's not an ideal situation. We want him to be in the team, settling down and going. And then obviously Kobbie Mainoo, who's not a new signing but was added to the squad, looked like he was going to be given an opportunity alongside Casemiro in that midfield role. And then he gets injured in pre-season and is out for a sustained period. It hasn't been an ideal setup. The only player that we've got, new player from last season in the first 11 at this moment in time, is Andre Onana. Everybody else is injured. There's talk about us signing Sofyan Amrabat, but that talk wouldn't have been as loud if we did have Kobbie Mainoo available. And, Mason Mount was fit. But we've got these issues at this moment in time, and we're going to have to try and get through them. Now, somebody that may be given a chance through this is Alvaro Fernandez, who I thought was excellent in pre-season. There's been talk about him potentially going out on loan or on a permanent deal. Now, maybe the transfer for him was a bit further down the line, and that move will still happen. But I think it could be a good choice in terms of playing at left back and getting someone who would be a natural in that position. Obviously, you've got Diogo Dalot that could also play over there, and you could play Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back, and that's probably the way we'll go at the weekend. But Alvaro Fernandez could be given a chance, and when you play Wan-Bissaka and you play Diogo Dalot, you've then not got a first team fullback on the bench and no options to change things up. So United need to obviously try and change things up, try and hit some form as well. The way we've been playing at the moment, we've now got no Mount, so we're going to change that midfield. We're probably going to go to Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes, which, to be fair, those guys had some good results together last season, and maybe we can settle down with that midfield. But it's not the midfield that the manager would have wanted to been starting with. There's talk about Amrabat signing. He's not been selected for the Fiorentina team this week. He's been training on his own as well, waiting for United to bid. If I was him and their gaffer, I'd probably select him because United are going to be taking their time. Maybe now, all this talk about injuries will escalate things. But Manchester United, we've always been reactive to things that happen. We saw it last season. We lose 2 games to start signing players properly. We've always been reactive, which isn't the way to be. We need to be proactive. You look at Manchester City winning the treble, and they go out and make the signings that they need to do to still improve their squad. Manchester United, we finished third, win a cup, got a new manager in. It's time to back him, and we've got the owners not knowing whether to stay or go in, and the manager kind of having his hands tied in the market. So we need to hope we can get a few deals through the door, but it doesn't help when the players that you have got are all going down injured, and it's not great heading into that game against Forest. Although you say at Old Trafford, without Mount and Shaw and Malacia and Kobbie Mainoo and Rasmus Højlund, Man United should still be winning. But the facts are we're missing those players, and it's ruining the rhythm for the rest of the campaign in that game against Arsenal going into the international break. So mad disappointed about that. Hopefully the talk about Amrabat does speed up. We're apparently signing a third goalkeeper soon as well, and things like that. But the business went from a point of looking like, all right, we got Højlund, we got Mount, we got Onana. Now it looked like at that point, a couple of weeks ago that, McTominay and Maguire and Donny van der Beek and Dean Henderson were all going to get sold. Eric Bailly was going to leave. Now we can bring some extra players in, and the summer could look like a decent one, but we're still here dragging our feet around. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're keeping it locked. How should Manchester United line up against Forest at the weekend? Get your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back soon, hopefully, with some more positive news than this one. See you in a bit.